Talk Radio 77 WABC. It's the 77 WABC News Hour.
Talking the news with Noam Laden.
All the news you need to know with Joe Nolan, traffic, Justin Ellick, sports. And now,
Talking the news with Noam
on 77 WABC.
Yes, that's me. Good morning. Wild story out of Syria and Lebanon yesterday. These exploding pagers. Did you hear about this? Let's get all the details now. We're going to check in with Middle East correspondent for JNS, Josh Hasten. He's in Jerusalem, and he joins us live on the Newsmaker line. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Noam. Thanks so much.
Sure, of course. So, okay, start from the beginning. So yesterday we get this word, Josh, that all these pagers that members of Hezbollah and maybe others are carrying around explode at the exact same time. What exactly took place?
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable story. You had 3,000 to 5,000 pagers, which were being held by Hezbollah terrorists throughout Lebanon, explode at the exact same moment. 9 dead, thousands wounded, and many wounded are in serious condition here. At this point, Israel has not taken responsibility for the attack. Remains to be seen exactly who is behind it, although all indication is that Israel carried out an unbelievable, unprecedented attack in order to weaken the Hezbollah terrorist organization, which continues until today, firing rockets at Israel on an hourly basis. So the goal was to weaken that terrorist organization. Many, many people hurt, and some in critical condition. I think hundreds in critical condition. Hopefully, that this is not the end. Hopefully, this is just the beginning. Israel should seize upon this opportunity right now, as Hezbollah is weakened, to go all out against this evil terrorist organization. Again, since October the 8th, has been firing rockets, even in the last hour, firing rockets and missiles and drones into northern Israel. So this could be just the beginning, but again, an unprecedented incident there in Lebanon yesterday.
It sure was. So now, people normally you don't think carry around pagers. Now, I'm assuming this is something, an easier way to communicate without being detected, and that's why these Hezbollah members were carrying around pagers as opposed to communicating over, text on a cell phone? Yeah,
exactly. So Hasten, the head of Hezbollah, had told his commanders and his lieutenants throughout the region there not to use smartphones because he was afraid that Israel would be able to find those smartphones, locate them, and kill those commanders. So he instructed them to use beepers going back to the 80s or whatnot. And so apparently they received a new shipment of these beepers over the last several days, perhaps the last several months. So they were walking around using these beepers, and all of a sudden, from what I understand, the beepers got hot. Apparently they had been compromised. And as a result of those lithium batteries there, that set off a chain reaction. When the batteries get hot, they set off the explosives, and they all went off simultaneously. From what I understand, that apparently a word got around that this was going to happen, and Israel had intended an even greater attack, perhaps. Again, they didn't take credit for it yesterday, but this could be just the start. So they had to preempt and detonate earlier than expected. But again, yes, they're using these pagers also not only in Lebanon, but apparently this batch of pagers was delivered to terrorists in Syria and maybe even Iran itself. But just unbelievable how you have thousands going off at the exact same time, the exact same moment, causing many, many injuries. Remember, these are evil people. This is who we're dealing with. Nobody should have any sympathy for all of these people here in Lebanon who've been, again, since October the 8th, firing rockets and missiles at the Jewish state, and dozens have been killed. Dozens of Israelis have lost their lives as a result of these attacks.
Talking with Josh Hasten, he's Middle East correspondent for JNS, the Jewish news service, jns.org. So the Israeli press must be trying to figure out how Mossad or somebody was able to pull this off. What are they saying?
Yeah, again, indications are that the Mossad was involved, but Israel is not taking credit, not taking responsibility at this time. And I don't know if they will ever take responsibility. Just like in the past, Israel is not taking responsibility when they've taken out senior terrorists They want to leave some doubt. They don't want all the fingers being pointed at us, even though Hezbollah is, and officially yesterday announced that they won't call us Israel, by the way. They refer to us as the enemy and the Zionist entity. They won't even use the name Israel. They officially said that they will respond to what happened yesterday, and they're pointing their finger at the Zionist entity. Also, by the way, just breaking news now, for the first time ever since the start of the war, since October the 7th, a drone was intercepted just a few minutes ago in northern Israel, which was launched from Iraq. So that is something to keep our eyes on as well. We had last week an attack from Yemen. The Houthis launched a missile, not for the first time, at the state of Israel. Israel's fighting a war on 7 different fronts. We are surrounded by enemies who seek our destruction, but we will overcome. We will fight back. We will defeat those enemies. And yesterday, the 3,000 beepers going off, exploding at the same time, I hope is just the beginning. We need you to go full force against these evil terrorist organizations who seek our demise and the demise of the United States and the Western world.
Yeah, well, wild story and unbelievable how they all went off at the same time. Josh Hasten, Middle East correspondent for JNS, jns.org. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.